Welcome to the Talk It Out Show. I am your host, Joanne. We would like to let you know that this show is for entertainment purposes only. If you want to look us up on Facebook or Twitter, go ahead and look us up at the Talk It Out Show. If you'd like to go ahead and email us at talkitoutshow@gmail.com. And if you want to physically send any of your questions to us, go ahead and send to our P.O. Box. Our P.O. Box is P.O. Box 901043, Portland, Oregon, 97290. Now today, I am your host, Joanne, and me and Lydia are going to have a discussion with you. How are you doing, Lydia?
I'm doing great. Hello.
All right, it's so good to have you here. Our other two lovely ladies, they are out right now, so we are going to be having some deep discussion, and me and Lydia are going to talk to you guys. We have a topic that we have for you today. And it's, I know it's going to raise a lot of questions. And you know what? If you guys would like to go ahead, send in information to us or just chime in on Facebook or Twitter if you'd like as well. We want to talk about how the marriage bed is undefiled. We have heard about this all our lives in church and everything. And, you know, even as a young child, I was wondering what they were talking about. I've done recently we did a play, and that was a topic in that. And, one of the characters says, a marriage bed is undefiled, and it really is undefiled. And it was really good. And, but you know what? We have a lot of things these days, this day and age, there's a lot going on in our lives. And as we get older, generations do different things. And we want to talk about that. What does it really mean when you say the marriage bed is undefiled in biblical terms? How far can you really go in that marriage bed?
Well, to me, I'm just going to say that we have to think long and hard. And I really, truly believe that it's something that is between you and your spouse when you say your marriage bed is undefiled, since we're talking about marriages.
Yes.
We have to really put that in place to understand it's going to be different than people who are having sex outside of marriage,
Yes.
Who are having same-sex marriages. I guess you could include that in same-sex marriages as well.
Because you're just married. You're married.
You're married. And it's legal bond in the states that in most states that you can get married. So I guess that's how you have to look at it and put those together in that category, which is really, really hard to do.
Yeah, I guess it would be hard because, you know, I guess if you're thinking in terms of biblically, because if you were biblically talking, it would be saying that if you were same-sex marriage, then that's still not okay, because that doesn't say that biblically. We just looked at that. Remember?
If it's same-sex marriage, where I guess people have to really get it, because at the same time we have to respect the law. Which in the Bible it tells us to respect
the law. Yes,
we have to respect the law. That's the whole reason why we have to have a documentation to say that we're married, because in reality, you're married the moment you have sex. So all those people who are having sex outside of marriage, those are all the people that you're married to as well. But true. Because the law states we have to have documentation, which is our marriage license, to say that we have to respect that law as well. So I'm
telling you, this is some deep stuff, y'all. She got my mind going right now.
I mean, you don't think about stuff like that. You know, you think about, you're not supposed to have same sex. You're not supposed to. But in the laws, it's saying that you can get married, and so that is a piece of paper, and then you have sex.
Now you see this. Look, now like I just said, I've been raised in the church. We see this that says it's supposed to be this way. Now everybody knows. You know, I ain't judging. No, I ain't here to judge nobody here on this earth. Okay. But that's what I'm saying. As we know, that's what we're raised to. That's what we're raised to see, and that's what they tell us this. She's got a point there, because it's always they talk about laws and things like that in the Bible as well, and respecting the laws. If our laws change, and our laws change from state to state, and when you look at all these different laws. Okay, here we go. So, even though we looked this up, right? Okay, so say for instance, they say, okay, it's okay. So like you said, whoever is married, making it official. Boom, we're married. So it's undefiled, but what we're saying here is undefiled, and in the sense of saying here just between the two. As long as you can do whatever you want, as long as it's in between the two. Because it says that it's the understanding between the couple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just those two don't be. So we were talking about earlier. Okay, we were talking about too. I will let you guys know because this is happening. I'm hearing about it spoken on the radio stations. People talk about it hourly. It's not. It's like the thing to do these days. Okay. And this is something that I want to get deeper into and have this discussion because I've actually gotten quite a bit of different opinions myself. You know, Lydia probably don't know, but this is what I hear a lot about this. Is in the adding somebody to the relationship type thing. Me, I not good at sharing. I don't share.
I'm going to say, and
share.
this is okay. And let's just let this be real. Okay, we're gonna be really real on this conversation. So this is Lydia's opinion, and this is Joanne's opinion.
Yes.
This does not mean it is fact.
Exactly.
So get
We're
that
talking
clear.
it out.
We are talking it out,
Yeah.
trying to figure it out.
Yeah, trying to figure it out.
It's my opinion.
Yes.
I am not stating facts.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not a Bible scholar or anything like that. Okay, so now that we got that out in the open.
We say entertainment purposes only in the beginning.
There you go. So here we go. No. You cannot add nobody to your bed. I have seen it. And I know there might be some good ones that's working it out.
Yeah.
And I know people going to say, well, back in the biblical days, back before Christ, and all this other stuff. No. One, we don't have the mindsets that we had back in the day.
Right.
And women have more rights than we had back in the day.
Yes.
So let's get that down there. And
That
we have
is
more
true. You heard about
and we
that.
have more of an opinion.
Yes.
And I'm just going to say, I'm married. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if I was a person to allow somebody to come into my bed, if my husband moans a little bit louder with Miss Thing, I'm mad.
Right.
And then he ain't moaning loud when I do something, I'm mad.
Okay.
And I'm quite sure vice versa. If a man was in the bed and I moaned a little louder,
Right.
so and so.
And you know why it's gonna be? You know why you gonna moan a little louder?
Why?
Because it's new.
Yeah.
And that's why. Because see, they used to having you all the time. But then you add this extra person, this is new. So then of course it's exciting. So of course they're gonna be making more noise. You gonna be more mad.
And that is why Lydia wears wigs. So she could be every person you want in the bedroom. Every wig.
Every woman.
It's all in me. Hey!
Anything you want. Done naturally.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Get it right. Because I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to work any other way. No. I'm just saying, that's me. Again, my opinion. There's no way, because my thing is, you can start having emotional feelings. And when women have sex with a man, and it's good, and then they have good conversation, she's going to emotionally start getting attached to this other man. Right. So now she's emotionally attached to her husband and this other person. Right. Now she's emotionally attached. Now the man going to be feeling some kind of way because she's emotionally attached. Yeah. And vice versa.
Right. Exactly.
So my thing is, no, don't add nobody. If you need to add, put on a wig. Gray your hair up. Do something. Do something. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I believe in having sex names, and I have sex names. You know,
like role playing type thing or something, or maybe
it might because I'm gonna put it this way, and I teach this. Remember when I used to do those hotel things? Okay. Where all the women come together and we do. Okay, so in that session, I want you to explore who you are. Yes. And I think when you're having sex, there's who you are. So Joanne, there's a Joanne in the sex bed.
Maybe somebody else in there.
Yeah, no, it's Joanne. But when Joanne is feeling freaky, she might be Carmelo.
That's right.
You remember when we used to go to the strip club? And that was your name. Yeah. Different so Carmelo is more wildly in the bed. She's more freaky deaky in the bed.
Okay, I get you.
And then you might be the love goddess.
Yeah.
She might be the one that brings out the whips and chains. You never
You
know. You never know.
That's what we're talking about in the sense of the undefiled.
Yeah.
You can make it creative. You can do things, because the thing about it, if you don't, that's where the problem comes in. People get bored. And if you were, you know what, you wouldn't even think about adding somebody to the bed if you weren't bored. You know, you would think about it. If you do, you know what I'm saying? You keep that going and being creative and paying attention to what your partner likes as well.
Yes.
Because if you pay attention to what your partner likes and you're giving that to the person, they ain't gonna have no time to be looking at nobody else.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's why I think it's so important to understand what undefiled means.
Yeah.
And so we had did some looking up on some things.
Yeah, I was really confused. I really needed to know, because that was really interesting.
It is totally different, and I think it's something that's so important that you need to keep in contact with everything that you do when you're in this motion. And like I said, you know, your relationship with each person, your data with each person, the things that you are feeling for each other is there. Exactly. But being if I want to bring a toy to the bed, I feel that's you can, because it's just between me and my husband.
Yeah, well, we were talking about that too. Now we were saying that now I have noticed in the media lately that, you know, these toys have kind of got out of control here. Ooh. And some of these toys ain't no joke, y'all. And you let these toys, you incorporate these toys into the bedroom. Sometimes you be feeling like you don't need the other person. So, you know, so that in a sense, you know, me and Lydia were talking about that and saying, you know, well, when do you kind of like, because of this, when are you supposed to be saying no? First of all, okay, we just said, okay, we agree on not adding the person. But if you start adding these toys to kind of spice up things and stuff too, you don't want to get something that's way better than your spouse, and then you ain't even thinking about it.
I think you can get better than your spouse.
Because of the emotional connection, you mean, maybe?
No, I don't think you can get better than your spouse if your spouse is taking care of your needs personally. And paying attention to it's just an added on pleasure.
Yeah. Okay. Now
you know what I mean? It's just an added on pleasure.
Okay. Now y'all chime in on this stuff too. Let us know what y'all think. As these topics are coming up and we're saying these and bringing these up, let us know what your opinions are as well, because we want to know. We questioning it just as well as y'all.
Exactly.
And if y'all got some information for us, let us know. These are the things we're talking about here on the Talk It Out Show, because a lot of times people don't talk about these things, and this is part of life. It is what it is, and we shouldn't be ashamed to talk about these things. We shouldn't feel like we can't discuss these things. And sometimes we need a sounding board. We need somebody else to give us some information, you know, because you guys know just as well as we do, and it may help us out. Because, you know, there's a lot of marriages that I have heard are not doing well, are partying and everything like that, because they're not discussing this stuff.
Well, let me put it this way. I, as being a married person, and I'm not going to say a single person don't have an opinion on this, but I'm saying, because you understand there's long relationships that are not been married. You know what I mean? Hello. So my thing is, it is really a connection that you have to have with your other person. So you have to be able to speak to your partner. Yeah. About everything. So if your partner is not hitting the right spot, if your partner is not doing what your partner needs to do, then you need to let it go. That's why you not let the person go, but you need to verbally communicate and let it out.
But because you guys have been together, you guys are friends in that sense. You know each other. Hey, partner.
Well, I said this a long time ago. I was telling somebody. I don't know who I was telling, but I was telling somebody. I said, a man has to love the vagina. Like, he has to really love the vagina to satisfy a woman.
That makes sense. I hadn't thought about that.
But a woman doesn't have to love the penis.
Why?
Because a penis is easier to satisfy. Like, you can give head to the penis, and if you do a good job giving head, you just need to learn techniques. Even if you're just gonna... I mean, we're going to be real on the show.
We getting deep, y'all. We getting deep up in here.
I'm just saying.
We talking it out.
You know, I mean, and I'm not saying that, you know, you could be boring and giving head. You can be boring and having sex. Where the man is not satisfied. Right. But you don't have to love it to be able to please it.
Okay.
But you have to love.
But I'm pretty sure it's better if you do. You know what I'm saying?
I think it is.
All right.
Because I think there's new techniques you can learn all the time. Yes. Yeah. But honestly, you don't have to love the penis. That's the difference. But you have to love the vagina. Because there's so much of a vagina and every vagina is totally different.
You're right about that. Everybody.
So you have to learn how to do it. There's places that you gonna have to be able to curve into some spots that you can't curve into other people. Okay. There's gonna be things that you gonna there's buttons to touch. Yeah. And like I said, a lot of people don't know there's like 4 or 5 spots just by the vagina to stimulate it. You know, and so
you gotta learn. And these are the things that I'm talking about. Lydia is really schooling y'all here. Y'all listen to this stuff because I know we're going deep and it's serious, but it's true because the thing about it is this is the type of things that couples need to listen to and hear, because if you don't, I mean, your life, your relationship can be just so much more. And pay attention to that thing. That's why I always said this is how I always felt in a relationship, period. And this is in regards to everything, sexual or not. If I'm with somebody and my mind, I'm focused on what they are wanting, on their needs or whatever, I pay attention to that person so much. And I know, down to the, my man's drawers is getting holy. I need to get him some, okay, that down to that. And he's doing the same thing with me. Her bra a little worn out. We need to go, I think I'm going to need to go buy her a bra. Something like that. He taking care of me that way. I'm taking care of him that way. And all our needs are met. Because see, he thought about me and I thought about him. Yes. So then everybody's taken care of. And that's how it needs to be. Know me, key into me so much to where you're going to know that and like I said too, sometimes that's what I say for me. I get what you're saying in the sexual area, knowing that person, being with that person. Sometimes, like for me, in my situations, I don't really feel like there's like a, I wish there was a better mental connection and basically in the communication area and things like that. And it almost scares me because I say if I was connected in the communication area, I would be like, our sex would be like, woo, wow, crazy, like out of this world. Yeah. And that's what people understand too. There needs to be connection all the way around. Now you can have good sex with somebody or whatever and there not be, but the thing about it is if you're married, you guys been together, this is a deeper thing too, where we can go into this conversation as well. Being married to somebody, but there's still a disconnect. You don't want to have that disconnect. You know what I mean? You want to be connected. Having that communication. Well, and communication and any relationship, especially when you're married, is very important. You don't want to be without that communication. You don't want to be left without that communication, period. Yeah. So you want to have that. And then women our foreplay starts in the beginning. Right. So you leave me a sexy note and do the dishes for me or do the laundry or make sure my gas is full in my car. Turn on. Those are things that will do it too. Okay. So then that's already bothered. So by the time you get home, you might get raped by your wife. Right. Okay. You just might right there. You don't have to always be the aggressor as a man when you do something like that for your woman. Or help make sure the kids is in bed and fed and then she don't have to deal with it. And you just come and rub her toes for a minute and then next thing you know, things happen. Right. You know what I mean? And those are things that you want to keep in importance in that relationship. Those are things you want to keep focused on in those relationships. And that's what I'm talking about in the sense of looking at that person. Like say that. You talking about rubbing somebody's feet. Look, she done had a long day, hard day. Pay attention to that. Oh, she look like she been out with the kids all day. They've been shopping. She been on her feet. Oh, you know what? I might let me run her some bath water afterwards, rub her feet. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all pay attention to your partner, okay? And when you're paying attention to your partner like that, then you're also paying attention to the what? The vagina. The vagina. There you go. That's it. Then you can do that. And then, like I said, men don't always want to start it. Yeah, that's true. You got a point there. Men don't, because men want to feel wanted too. Exactly. I don't want to sit there and neglect the man. I don't want to feel like, we got to neglect the man. No, let's talk about it because they are way more emotional than we think. Yes, they really do, and they need attention too as well. And like I said, and the good thing about it is when you're married, and I believe this when you're married. Now I don't know if you married and having issues if this is going
gonna work.
Yeah.
But when you married and you happy, you can really put your man's t-shirt on and do a strip tease for him.
Okay.
He probably would feel like he done struck gold. He done won the lottery.
Okay.
He is excited. He is happy. And he ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
That's the things that you want to keep it focused. Like,
keep it nice,
okay.
keep it fresh.
And, you know, and doing those things. Even if you can't sing, just sing him a little song. Don't have to just sing, you know, Freak Me Baby.
Yeah.
You can just do a couple of lines. He's like, hey. He don't woke up. Now, I'm going to just tell you, women, don't do this in the middle of a football game. He in the middle of a PlayStation game.
No.
On the battle with somebody and hear you, freak me.
No.
Maybe that might work once in a blue.
Yeah.
That ain't an everything thing. I'm tired of him playing football, or I'm tired of him watching football, or he playing this PlayStation, so I'm going to do this every time. No. Then it's like, now you just trying to mess up his time. You don't want to mess up his time. Let him enjoy his time.
Let him be him.
But boy, when you tear it, when it comes out, when he's done, oh my goodness. Or do it on a commercial. He might start thinking, I just want to give you a teaser. You got a commercial break with them? I'm going to be your commercial.
Be the finale.
Yeah. And when the game is over, ta-da. Those things, have fun.
Yeah.
When they say the marriage is undefiled, they want you to have fun. They want you to... God intended for you to enjoy sex. He intended it to be fun and enjoy. He did not want you to be married and stiff. And more married people do not want to have sex.
Right. I've seen it so
more
much.
Single people are having sex more than the married people.
Yeah.
And a man should not be feeling like his homeboy who is single is getting it more than he is and he's married.
Okay.
You should be just
Let's
throwing it at him.
now, okay?
And vice versa, man. A woman should be able to, when she hearing her homegirls tearing it down and doing all kinds of stuff, doing all kinds of stuff. A woman want to know that you want to take herself. It's important to you too. She wants to know that. She wants to know the same thing. So you have to make an effort in this somewhere. You can't sit here be pity patting and playing her down. Because I'm telling you right now, when I hear my girlfriends talking, well, that man laid it down like this and he did that. He tried this new thing. I'd be like, well, I didn't try that one.
Okay.
So now guess what I'm doing? Baby, y'all heard about I said, baby, there's this thing that's going on. They got this new thing going on called so-and-so. And you do it like this and this and this. And so then we try. Now, if I get my husband and I'm telling him, I don't want to do that. That's boring. Well, you making it easier for somebody to come in and take your place.
Or find out what he may like. And find out what you guys like. That's what.
But my thing is, you can't find out if you don't try.
That is true.
That's the thing. You can try it and go, I don't know what she's talking about. It wasn't that good. Or you like, you know what? I kept getting cramped and we can't do that. But at least you gave an effort to try. And I'm not saying because bed is not good that gives a person a right to cheat or leave.
Right.
You just don't want to give that avenue. You want to always have your stuff spiced up.
Right.
You should be more invented than the single people are invented. Because why does anybody want to get married if they're going to lose out on some good sex?
Yeah.
Like I got the best sex when I was single. We got married and I can't even find it.
You hear that a lot.
I hear it all the time.
You hear it all the time.
I ain't gonna hear it from my husband, but I hear it all the time. I'm just gonna tell you.
Yeah, you hear it.
I hear it all the time.
It's a lot.
And as a married woman, I get tired. Women be coming up with new stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't mind having a conversation with my single friends about it because then I just say, ooh, honey, baby. And let's do such and such and such. And let's do this. Oh, let's try this. Yeah. I don't mind doing that. Yeah. But don't come up and get mad. Or if I go, baby, you're not hitting it tonight. Yeah, you want to be all in your feelings either. And or women, your stuff is too loose. We got to figure out how to tighten it. What you mean my stuff is loose? It's loose because you loosened it. No, learn how to tighten. You better get that. You know. You guys, you know how to tighten it up.
Around the sense of being,
do some Kegels.
Being open and honest in your relationship like that, because when you are with that person, that's your soulmate, that's your friend, that's everything to you. So you guys are able to talk about those things. You guys should be able to talk about those things and and deal with those things. It's making me think about just even like when you're in these long relationships and married and blah, 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 and just the things that even our bodies go through. Our bodies are changing as we get older and things like that. So there's a lot of things that we have to deal with. Women who are going through menopause and men who are getting older, and they go through stuff if they can't get it up as much as they used to or something like that. There's such a mind thing that's going on.
Do you know, sorry for interrupting you, but do you know that a lot of times married people who can't get it up anymore and stuff like that is because they're not getting it frequently? Mm-hmm. Like if you only having sex once a week, then you're training that penis to only have sex once a week.
It's like if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, if you only have sex once a month, you're training it for once a month. But if you keep that penis active every day, it is. Because even if a woman is dried up, you could put lubrication in there and stuff like that, but that could dry up too, so you want to get the moisture one. But you want to make sure and you keeping that active too. Exactly. And I understand women when you're tired. I understand that. I got that.
Going through menopause, things like that. Your body starts changing. Now,
but you better figure it out.
And that's what I appreciate what Lydia's saying, because what I'm telling you guys is the fact that when those things happen, this is where communication does play its part. Because then you guys can work on those things together, help each other out, and deal with that together, because of the fact that as we get older, things happen. And, because, sometimes, Lydia, let's be honest, we could be sitting there trying to physically, and our knees lock up or something, the arthritis kick in or whatever. Because the older we get, that we have more health issues and stuff like that. Sometimes, we got to keep our bodies moving and lubricated and everything and stretched out as well. Because, and you know what? You do burn a lot of calories having sex, y'all. For real. This is like exercising. It's using muscles and everything.
You better start using it. You better start doing it.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Do a little exercise. And because you can lose more calories. You're doing all kinds of yoga in the bed. So I would probably do a lot of yoga, because you could do all kinds of yoga and have your water and fruits and vegetables. And you will be on point.
Yeah.
So when we talk about marriage being undefiled, I think there's some limits, because you don't want to destroy your marriage as well. Because I want to keep up on the marriages undefiled, because of the simple fact that I think people are taking it crazy when they're bringing outside people into their relationship, and they're doing all this other stuff. And I think there's just so much that you can do that you don't have to bring somebody outside into your bed.
Oh, and that's what I was going to say. Go ahead. About this, how you're saying to bringing up, that's what I've been hearing lately. A lot of people talking about that and things like that. And I had seen someone who was getting interviewed on the radio or something like that, and they were talking about they were recently married, evidently, and they had decided to bring. Now, this is where we gotta be real, y'all. The guy said that they decided to bring other people into the bed, so. They said they asked the question, like, who is the person who decides who they bring? He said, my wife does. So, okay, this is my thing. A lot of times you got to get deeper into these things. So, because when someone suggests it, now a lot of men be sitting there thinking, oh yeah, this is great. Well, honey, let me tell you this right now. If your wife is the one who decided, and then she's the one who bringing the person, most likely she liking that herself. That's something that she's liking, and you're opening that up for her to have. She gonna enjoy her time with that other person, that woman that you let in. She gonna enjoy herself more with that person than you. And then I couldn't believe this girl. You know what he said? He said, "I don't think anybody can do that better than me."
Well, that's a cockiness.
You a guy. You can't tell me no girl can't do that better than you.
That's not true. I think, like I said, that's where it goes back to.
But he's saying
a man has to.
But I'm saying he's saying most. He's saying he's better than most, and I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Well, it depends if he loves the vagina. Like there's things that a woman. I'm gonna tell. I know everybody goes, a woman can do it better because she knows what she likes. But again, our vaginas are totally different.
Right, but if you keep letting, and they're picking, they're not even picking one. They're picking more than one. Letting different people in. So you let different people in, but if it's a woman, I'm just saying.
If he takes the time to learn how to knock the back walls out, then
I get that, but I'm just saying too. When you keep letting other people in, I don't believe. I just personally feel that it's not going to last long.
No, it doesn't.
It's not going to. You're married. You've only been married a year, and then you guys said, okay, hey, let's start having people in our relationship.
Yeah.
In the bed. That's not going to last long. There's going to be some issues going on, and this is my thing. Because I have this issue. I have this issue just in life. Period. Even if you're with somebody and they're not faithful to you or whatever. This is how I feel. We live life and we got to live life and we got to do things. We got to pay rent. We got to pay bills. There's so much stuff that we got to do in life. Period. That we have to focus on. I do not have time to be babysitting some grown person that I'm in a relationship with. I should be able to trust you. If I don't got this, I've been with you for a long time. Why am I stressed out, worried about thinking you with somebody else or you doing something else? But if we start opening those doors, and then I'm living my life, I'm going to work, you going to work or doing whatever. Okay, say our schedules is different or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. You work at night, I work at day or whatever. Opposite. Okay, that's leaving that open time, that open space for stuff to go on. Mm-hmm. You're going to make, because the thing is, you want to decide to do something, you're going to do it. A person going, like they say, a person going to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So that's what all I'm saying is, that's great to have the communication, but I do personally feel that even though the marriage bed is undefiled, you got to keep it between y'all two, because it's just, y'all just make sure that y'all keep it spiced up. Like Lydia said, keep the spice going, keep everything going, because you don't want to add somebody else up into there, because regardless, women take, I just found out that every person that we have sex with in our lives, that DNA is in our body. Anybody's sperm done been up in your body, the DNA is in your body for the rest of your life. So you think about everybody that you done had sex with, that DNA is in you. That is crazy. And my whole thing is we have to be careful with that. So the thing about it, now lets us know, that tells us something about women, period, about us.
But the thing about it is, anything that enters us is really something that stays in us.
Right.
And I think that's why it was meant and it was said that when you get married, our marriage through biblical way is the moment that we have penetration, because now we're connected and we're joined, and so we get their spirit, they get our spirit.
Yes.
It's a connection, so we have to keep that in mind when we think about those things and talk about those things. So you want to remember that. So to have multiple people in there, it can change. I've seen people where they had a relationship and they added another person, and now they're divorced and now they're married to the person that they brought into their marriage.
Yeah.
And that was their choice, and they learned from that. But do you continue to do it? Do you think you can find a home of having that? And I think that's where society is penetrating in our brains to think that's okay.
It's okay.
And so pretty soon we're going to be starting to have sex with animals, which people are already doing.
That,
But my thing is, pretty soon we are not going to look at it in a negative way because so many people are doing it and we're accepting it. And when do we stop accepting these things? And like for me, my bed is only with my husband. The only people that join in my bed is when my kids are coming in there to watch TV with me. Right. Then you join in my bed. But anything else in my bed? No, that is my bedroom, and that is my sanctity. And I'm wild over there. Yeah. And I'm very vocal about it. My kids know about, okay, mom and dad, they're crazy, and they love each other, and so they can understand that, and they can, when they get married, they're gonna want the same type of relationship that me and my husband had. The thing about it is, we're taking things so free because now that we can change the law, we take everything free.
They're changing the law.
You know what I mean? And everything is changing,
and that
we're
goes back
accepted.
to what we're saying. You're saying these laws are changing,
and
so that's why it's like.
And that's what I'm saying. So my thing is, you in your household, in your home, has to stick by the rules that you create for you. And yes, every place in the world has rules. You create it. Because let me tell you something right now. Even though I don't have nothing against gays and lesbians and all that, I don't. I really don't. But I realize that LGBTQ people are creating things that I don't agree with. Right. Like, I went to a meeting and they were having this thing where it's insulting to have a gender reveal party and we need to respect them. And how dare you don't understand how rude that is for them. And I'm like, But how rude is it that I'm renting this place out for me, and if I want to have a gender reveal party, we can have a gender reveal party.
The thing
and so I was sitting there.
They want us to respect them. This is the problem that just in life, period.
Yeah, but I get it there, but that's what I'm saying. They don't have to, and we are sitting here allowing it. And like I said, when I figured out what it was, I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna speak out about that because no, you don't have to do a gender reveal for what you guys are doing,
right?"
And I'm gonna respect that.
Yeah.
But darn it, if I want to do a gender reveal, I mean, I ain't got no baby now, and I don't want to have no more. But if I want to do a gender reveal party, I have every right to.
Yes.
Just because you decide not to look to see if there's a boy or a girl, and you're not acknowledging the sex of the baby, does not mean I don't.
Exactly.
And my thing is, if you want me to respect you. As an LGBTQ, you need to respect me as well. I'm not changing my laws because you want to fit in.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of stuff that I want to fit in. We could go on. I'm not
even
going to do it.
We be having a whole other show up in here because I got a problem with them having more rights than black people. Sorry. I got a problem with that already. And I'm tired of everybody trying to... I love all y'all out there. I'm going to tell you that right now. But don't categorize what you're going through with us as black people going through. I can't do that. That gets on my nervous system.
Exactly.
I got a problem with that. There's two separate issues, but that's...
Yeah, like I said, we ought to talk about that another time.
That's a whole
we getting ready to get mean and ugly over here. It's like, you don't understand. But like I said, we are in our relationship.
Yes.
Exactly. And as the bed is undefiled, to me is whatever you and your husband want to do that does not add another person. Now, in your bed, it might be you can add as many people as you want. But in my mind, if you can add as many people as you want, then there was no need for you to get married.
You're going to add.
See, there's a difference in that.
That's adding
But
problems.
it's not even just adding problems. If I get to have sex with as many people as I want, and I'm married to you, then why did I get married? What was the purpose of me marrying you if I'm still get to have sex with a whole bunch of people?
Right. And you know what? This brings up another thing we will probably use this as another topic with these polyamorous marriages and things like that. That's another one because of the fact that we got to deal with emotions. You got to deal with people. I'm sorry, I don't watch too many shows about concubines and things like that. And you know what? Them women get hateful. You can sit there and try to act like, that's my sister. No, because y'all mad because whoever got the man that night, you thinking, oh my gosh, with him tonight. And that's her night, or when is my night coming up? Okay, and just imagine that man. Imagine that man being able to have access to however many. You talk about some variety. And that's what we're saying. You don't have to
you can't even have an emotional attachment. Really? You can't have an emotional attachment with that. And if your emotions get too much attachment, you don't know if to get mad, angry. You can't. Like I said, there's no reason to get married. You can be a boyfriend and girlfriend and have plethora and nobody can say a darn thing. And do what you need to do. If y'all all want to live in one household together, that's fine. But don't put marriage in it and do it. And that, again, my opinion. But I'm just saying, if I'm saying I do and I'm setting this marriage vow and I'm saying I do not believe in divorce and I never want to get a divorce. And mind you, I've been divorced before. I don't want to ever go through that again. And I just remember my emotional issue of getting divorced. And it's because my first husband cheated on me. That emotional distraught that it did to my personality, to who I was. And I had to build myself all over again to come out with a new person with that part in me. I just don't want that for anybody. So I don't understand that. And I don't care how much women say it does not affect them. You're a fool.
And this is what I say to everybody. I'm going to say this right now. And it's been in my head while we was talking. You guys, this is, and I know it's going to be like going to a whole nother level, but it's just true. You get these emotions tied. You get this stuff happening. You add these people. You add this. This is where, when it gets out of control.
Yes.
When we start seeing these, that's why we got all this stuff on TV. We got snapped. We got all this other stuff.
Yes.
Your emotions get tied into that person. You're connected. And that jealousy, and women can get vindictive. There's all kind of stuff that's happening. There's narcissism. All this stuff starts getting up into it, because like Lydia says, there is a spiritual connection with each person that you with. So my whole thing is, you won't sit there and have that, especially, forget the fact that we have a spiritual connection that people have in like these little relationships here, but this is that person that you are with. You love them. And you see them with somebody else, and that spiritual connection, and then you see them, like she said, let that other person moan a little too much. You give that person a little more attention than me.
Yes,
we're gonna have a problem. And then that's when it starts. It just starts with this burning, just going. It's just boiling and boiling and boiling, and it gets out of control. And then that's why I'm saying. So we have to be careful, because see, that's where that stuff goes. It goes. And when you're sexually involved with somebody, it's an intimate thing. And when you sit there and allow somebody else to be intimate with that person that you love, and you think of that, it's bad enough. It's bad enough when I'm talking to my man and I got to hear about his exes, and I hear about if she looked better than me, or she this and that. Those type of things are you let me know. One told me that his ex looked like Lisa Ray. I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, how the heck I'm going to look like? I ain't looking like Lisa, right? She's beautiful. So then my mind goes, oh my gosh, why did he pick me? Why, you start thinking about all those things. And that's a whole nother person. And they love you for who you are. They love you. They ain't looking at the outside. She could have looked beautiful on the outside. She might have been an ugly person on the inside. You never know.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. You don't know, but that's what I said. Then your mind goes. So my mind went that way about somebody that I ain't even met in my life. I don't even know that person. I didn't meet them. That's his past. But see where my mind went already?
Exactly.
And I that's not something. If I let somebody in my relationship now, look what I opened the door to. So that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying is just get creative, be spicy, get creative,
have fun. And men, don't be scared of the toys.
Yeah.
And women, bring some toys that are pleasurable for the men as well.
Yeah.
And bring different wigs in, and pick a
Outfits,
person each night. This is Sally, and name your wigs as who your personality is going to be, do stuff like that. Go out and have your man pick you up and be flirted on, stuff like that. Or you pick him up and you be the aggressor. Just do. The bed is undefiled in a positive way without adding somebody else to the bedroom. Yeah. And that's all we're trying to say. Yeah. You do not need to add somebody to your bedroom for your bed to have fun. Is basically.
And I will say too that, because I remember I was asking earlier, how do we feel about even like pornography? But that can be something we're going to use that probably for another topic, because that opens doors to a whole bunch of stuff. Just in general, it's its own thing. But we were wondering about that too. We're discussing all these things. What's okay? What are the limits? What is okay? So we've already said, go get creative, but we don't want, we don't want to add something that could open the door to another issue or problem, or bring it,
And that's where you guys, again, communication comes into that conversation as well, because you don't want to make something that's going to be an addictive behavior, because the only person you should be addicted to is your wife or your husband, not to the toys, not to pornography, not to anything else.
Now, if it enhances it, there you go. And you guys are okay, and it doesn't become an issue or problem or whatever. Okay,
but it's something that's a rule in your bedroom.
Yeah, the boundary.
And that's what I say. Your boundary has to be set. You can figure out what works for you guys. So as we're getting ready to wrap up.
We just thank you guys so much for listening to us. You guys, make sure you guys go ahead and check us out on Facebook or Twitter at The Talk It Out Show. Go ahead and send any of your questions in if you'd like to. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back next week on The Talk It Out Show.